Hi, I'm Colleen Bergeron. This audio is part of my series in creating effective change in your life. I can be contacted at orograndeintuitivelife.com. Soulmate or life mate. Intuition is my first impression. Every one of us has a group of souls that we're spiritually connected to, a group we're meant to connect with in the spirit world, and here by choice in physical form. People from our soul group come into our lives at seemingly random times, but in fact, these crucial meetings were prearranged between us. Rachel Keene. We all know what our life will be before we begin. We create our life path when we are in a soul energy form, selecting this body in this lifetime, and every experience we have is planned by our soul for us. We choose our life experiences in order to learn and grow from them in regards to our life path before we're even born. It's all part of a larger destiny, a plan realizing love is the only energy that we need to know and be. If we need help finding and clearing learned behavior patterns that keep us from having strong relationships and communication skills, an intuitive life coach can help. Have you ever sat with your friends and commented, "Why do I keep attracting?" Or asked, "Do I have an asshole magnet on me somewhere? Why do they always? I can't believe every time." There's a lot of truth to the definition of insanity is repeating the same action and expecting a different outcome. It's scientifically impossible without changing at least one factor. I found the best place to start is with the self. Clearing where I took on that energy. We keep attracting similar energy because we didn't take the time to raise our personal vibration and clear the self-limiting belief pattern that attracted us to it in the first place. Do you attract the same kind of people? Do the relationships have similar outcomes? Does the quality of the relationship you're in right now feel positive, loving, and supportive? Is it difficult or hard to find someone you share a common interest with? Is it difficult to maintain relationships? Are you often alone, wishing that you had a companion to share with? These are all valid belief patterns that can be cleared. How do we feel about someone when we first meet them? That's our intuition. I read recently on what a soul family is. There are different classifications depending on how you feel when you meet people and what history we develop together with souls we have past life energy with. We can usually discern which group they're from by our first impression, our gut reaction. Do not allow that simple recognition or attraction of thinking you met them before guide your discernment. Ask yourself, what do you think a soulmate is? What is a soul family? Yes, there are stories about people who met in another life, and we believe they're destined to be with them over and over again. It's important to know that there are different levels in the soul family, and that the soulmate can be a different person in this lifetime, so we can recognize all of them. Don't take on the self-limiting belief that if you feel you know someone, that they're automatically a soulmate. Soul energies incarnate together again and again through multiple lifetimes for us to follow a life path toward a greater divine purpose. Destined to always be with us, the soulmate is the person that when we meet, we feel we've always known them and can be physically, energetically, or romantically drawn to them. There is even an idyllic soul that feels like a completion of ours, the infamous soul twin. The perfect soul love energy intertwined for eternity. One heart divided in half. This is the part of your soul family destined to emotionally support and love us unconditionally and enable our life path as you love and support and enable theirs. I understand the soul twin does not always incarnate at the same time or in every lifetime. Put this intention out to the universe. Could it be possible to build this kind of relationship? I believe it is. I've actually met a few people who I felt I met before very strongly. It can be an exciting energy. Clear the self-limiting belief that there can only be one, or that they'll be your preferred relationship partner. If you're familiar with muscle testing, ask yourself how many soulmates are alive right now ready for a relationship. Multiple members of this soul family may be incarnated in this lifetime to be a close friend or even a family member. The recognition is the sense that I feel I've always known them. My interest immediately begins asking questions about places that I imagine we could have crossed paths. My reaction is positive and clear. I understand these recognized souls and I had a close relationship in a past life or multiple lives. I intended to recognize them because I'm openly spiritual. I'm just going to state the obvious. You don't know them in this lifetime, you just met. There's no history built together to bond you to them. It's up to you to build a real relationship. Don't assume that they did not learn beliefs in this lifetime or that they will feel the same. Our souls are in a very different body. It's okay that the heart path is open to another individual, but be wise about what you do with it. Knowing and discerning is better than learning the hard way. I've called my husband my life mate soulmate because we built that special kind of relationship together in this lifetime, and we share one thing in common: it's spirituality. As we build and clear our blocks and self-limiting beliefs and behaviors, we become closer. Our energy evolves together. It has struck me a few times that I'm meant to be with him in the here and now. That knowing is paid off in a positive fashion. He's the person, when I'm at my worst, I will be able to say with an assurance, I have love and I know he loves me. That sense of well-being and knowing that everything will work out for the best is a feeling that empowers you. I know I have emotional support and I know I'm safe with him. You feel and know their love when they're not in the room, and they feel and know yours. You have encouragement toward your personal goals, and so do they. It's an emotional balance that encourages positive growth in both of you toward a better life together and toward your life path. It feels like loving, supportive energy, and it's constantly evolving and grounded. I'm going to describe it as a higher spiritual connection in a shared energy space. Or as Christy Marie Sheldon put it, the energy is lover above. A life soulmate relationship certainly takes work because we're far from perfect creatures. We weren't raised in the same home and environment and learn beliefs and habits that we need to work on clearing in order for us to even live in the same house together. Think back to how your parents treated each other. That is where we learned about love and relationships. We also had different early relationships, and they may have led to feeling heartbreak or other things that needed to be a cleared pattern. We have to learn to love each other exactly the way that person is and not want to change them. If a change needs to happen, it's me who needs to change. I can only fix myself. I can only change myself. You want to encourage them by loving example and let them know what you expect and be open to how things make you feel. A relationship is not all about love at first sight. Yes, my husband tried to propose on our third date, and my answer was this: how many times have you been married? On what day did you ask? How did that method work out for you? Ask me when you really know me, and when you're certain you want to marry me and be holding a ring. He professed that he knew he was going to marry me, and eventually, yes, he did. I did not say no. I asked him to get to know who I really was. We've shared a great relationship for 15 years, and today we share celebrating 9 years of marriage. Love, light, and truth. There are also lesser levels of the soul family. People who interacted with you in past lives that you might share common interests with, are generally comfortable around. We tend to connect with them as great friends and good acquaintances. These are the kind of friends who feel like family. You just love to be around them. They feel familiar and safe, and their presence makes you happy. You find them in your social circles often and are always happy that they're there. Again, there's a lower level of the soul family. These are individuals that we tend to feel neutral about and have infrequent dealings with. They may be acquaintances from church or from work or from the gym. Their contacts we see time and again, often seem to be included in similar groups. Again, their presence is neutral. Sometimes you meet someone you don't like at all. There's a sense of almost instantly of no. You will deliberately decline an invitation when you meet them. These negative energies are karmic partners. They're souls drawn to you because you have a cord, a vow, or a commitment or unresolved karma with. They're drawn from the general population. We will only reincarnate with them as needed to resolve it. The fact that we exist together in this lifetime is so we can clear that past learned belief pattern. These are life lessons, not positive encounters. Has anything seemed to happen to you time and again? This is simply a negative situation karma energy that needs to be cleared. You reminded yourself that you need to protect yourself from it, so you get a similar experience again. We don't need the reminders. Clearing this energy is as simple as taking a moment, connecting to the lighter, higher power, and stating, I learned this lesson. Thank you, universe, for showing this to me. Forgive the individual for their learned beliefs and let it go. You don't have to do it in person. You just have to agree to clean the energy of the negative situation from you. It is possible to agree to disagree and move on. This is personal growth. That's right. You just have to agree to be free and let it go. After we've worked off mutual past life karma, we're done with that soul, not just for this lifetime, but for all future lifetimes. These are all members of the soul family. You feel a physical energy reaction to all of them when you meet that caused you to either create more encounters with them or avoid them. This is why I said to pay attention to your intuition and ask more questions about the recognized energy and what it's saying to you. Trust your instincts on whether someone is a soulmate or karma partner. It will be clear to you. Also, this is a really great reason to write a journal. You will always have the story to refer to if you don't have an identical situational memory as I do. I found that by clearing my past self-limiting beliefs. I am historically guilty of letting others talk me out of my intuition. This is why I extended my current husband's proposal despite feeling safe and loved with him. I had to learn to feel safe and loved and clear what was blocking me to seeing it in the first place. I had to learn that love was my energy and that I never lose it. This is why I know our relationship is supportive, because it led me back to my life path of being the best coach ever. My first marriage was to someone I felt I'd always known. If I would have paid attention to my initial reaction, I would have recognized him as a karma partner. He asked me out and I said no. And he would laugh and say, I thrive on rejection. And he would ask again. Needless to say, I did eventually accept. I shut my intuition down because one of the things I wanted more of in my life was funny. He was being funny with his retort, and I did laugh, but I was clearly saying no. That change was the moment I shut down my intuition. It allowed my laughter to change my initial intuition. I later tried to escape the wedding, instead allowing my stepmother to talk me into proceeding with it when I knew I should not. I did that based on how guilty I felt about her personal expenses toward the wedding. She bought a new dress. She later took my security deposit money from the hall and paid for it. I was not even considering my own needs. It was a big learning lesson for me. I placed myself in physical danger by proceeding when I had hesitance, and he turned out to be abusive. My guides had been providing me with dreams to try to remind me, and I didn't pay attention to them. But that was why I was running in the first place. I didn't put the pieces together until I was free from it. Another example, I met someone that I just had an odd sense about. It wasn't clearly negative, just different, like something was wrong. I said no thank you when they asked me to join them at their table. Later I changed my mind because I let them convince me that I was just being difficult and they were going out of their way to be my friend. It seriously took me years to realize that the friendship needed to end because it was no longer positive toward me. This person had a narcissist personality trait, and I didn't see it until much later. The fact was, it was never really positive for me. She needed someone to apologize constantly for the things that she did. My limiting belief was another learning experience about giving away my energy. I'm not going to say anything bad about the outcome, though, because it was a direct chance for me to seriously learn and grow. I was able to realize where and why I shut my intuition down from the exact moment where I let the person inside my barriers and boundaries and clear it. That was the moment I changed my mind after saying no thank you. It was a positive outcome for me because I cleared it and it caused a spiritual awakening. It was a learning relationship about past life karma, and it taught me that I can help others to clear past relationship karma completely. It allowed me to fully clear both of these past life karma family episodes. It is possible to find the right person. I'm not going to tell you finding a life or a soulmate is not obtainable, because I know it is. I'm going to say that it's possible to build this relationship with someone without that sense of always knowing them, and later realize that they were in fact a soul member all along. Call them your life mate and create new happy memories together. I will also point out that having the feeling that you know someone does not mean that they share that same feeling. Past life reincarnation of the soul is something you have to believe in. If they're not in the same spiritual level or belief as you, it's likely they won't even know you in this lifetime. They might not even recognize you at all. If they feel nothing, you might be setting yourself up for feeling unrequited love later on if you pursue the path. Move on. The first thing on the to-do list to meeting more individuals from your soul family and attracting them into your life now is to clear the past relationship behaviors, cords, ties, vows, and commitments. Remove the belief patterns in any other relationship and ask yourself, what do I really want? Put yourself out there doing things that make you happy, just being yourself. If you do what makes you happy, you'll attract others who wish to stand in that space with you. I spent many months clearing past relationship energy and seeking inward to find what it was that I really wanted in my life 3D now. I looked seriously at the traits that I had previously thought were important and cleared each of them. I started with the energy of how my parents treated each other and what I remembered about adult relationship energy as a child. The final outcome was a mindset, what my soulmate would be like. I had actually put it in writing and sent this request out to the universe to have this person in my life now. The first word that comes to my mind from that list is that they needed to share my spiritual beliefs. I wanted them on the same level as me, to love me exactly as I am, flaws and all, and to lovingly and emotionally support my life path. And I have that. Seriously, it was thanks to a random psychic. I received a random instant message one day after an 8-month sabbatical from dating, telling me that I needed to go out, to leave the house, or you'll never meet your soulmate because he doesn't know where you live. This was absolutely truth. It's the best advice I can give you. This person also added a short description of my soulmate, where they were from, what they drove. I took it all with a grain of salt, but I did go out that night. I went out because the message was followed by a phone call from a friend telling me to go sing karaoke and have a bit of fun. Just get out there again. That's the night I met my husband, and we've been together ever since. The best advice I can give on soulmates is this. They don't know where you live, and put yourself out there doing what you love to do. Second, learn to trust your intuition. It can get you a really good vibe. If something isn't right, it's usually not going to have a positive outcome for you, even if somebody talks you into it. An intuitive life coach can help you learn to do this. Be the difference at orograndeintuitivelife.com. Love, light, and truth. Colleen.